Evening, folks. Welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. I'm going to try and keep this short because I'm recording this on Thursday and it's 21:53, so it's late. I've got bed soon, so it's going to be. I'm saying it's going to be a short one. I've got quite a list of things I'm going to kind of talk about tonight. But firstly, you're probably thinking, what the hell has she got on? I'm not long back from a cook, so yeah, I'm still I'm a sweaty bugger. So I thought I'm going to go for a shower after I get this done. Oh, excuse me. So how are you? Hope you're all good. It looks like it. Excuse me. Apparently, I've got a milkshake from McDonald's, so apologies for the hiccups. Yeah, I hope you're all well. It looks like British summertime is now officially gone. I think it was last Monday and Tuesday, and normal service has been resumed. Certainly here in Scotland, it's shite, pissing me rain. It's actually getting a bit cold. I was actually thinking about putting the heating on tonight. So anyway, listen, I'm going to just batter straight into the stuff I want to talk about. What have I been up to in the last 7 days now? Because I record these on a Thursday. On Friday, last Friday, I did mention it. I was doing the Son of Sid show, which is it's on Panther UK's YouTube channel. And yeah, it was the band, getting the band back together again. There was myself, Lacosa, and Panther UK. Really good. Great getting back with the lads again. It's been a long time. It's probably been over a year since I made a video with these guys. So that was good fun. Panther's videos, as you know, are always extremely slick and well presented. So I don't know when it's going to be coming out. I've no doubt Panther will keep us informed as to when that's coming out. It was another long one. I think it was 3 hours it ran for, but brilliant, really, really good getting back with these guys. So yeah, that was last Friday. I did do a waffle with Del Boy last week, which is great. Del's a good lad. It's always great to have him on the channel taking part. On last Saturday, what did I do? I went into Edinburgh with my daughter Ava. We just had a wee wander about. Then we ended up going to the cat. What's it called? The Purple Cat Cafe. And yeah, it's exactly what it says in the tin. It is a cafe that's quite purple, and it's got lots and lots of cats. So if you're not a fan of cats, don't go. Great, really. I think they told us they had 33 cats. They had all these different sort of stands and beds and bits of rope and things that the cats could kind of wander about. Most of them were sleeping. They do tell you, there's a bit of a disclaimer when you go in. They do tell you that you touch the cat at your own risk. They tell you not to touch them if they're sleeping, but that didn't stop me. Good. The only thing which I'm thinking, come on, that's taking the piss, is the charge. They didn't tell us that until we actually went to go in. They charge you £10 per person over and above. It's basically the entry fee is £10 to get in. Then you've got your food, and the £10 is to pay for the vet bills for the cats. Now, part of me is thinking, yeah, all the cats are rescue cats, so you want to help out. But then they're a business, and all businesses have overheads. So, you don't, when you go into a normal cafe, they don't say, oh, by the way, you need to pay £10 to help pay the waiter and waitress's wages. That's part and parcel of a business. So I do think they're taking the piss a wee bit. Now I could accept paying £10 per party, but per person. So it cost me 20 quid for Eva and I just to get in. Then you had the price of your food. So if you had you and the missus, or you and your partner, your boyfriend, whatever, if you went along with maybe 3 kids, it was going to cost you 50 quid. How does that work? I think that's taking the piss a wee bit. But it was interesting. Good fun. Play Blackpool. It's the annual event. It's back for the first time, I think, in 2 years. Obviously, with COVID coming along. I've been asked if I would do the talks, host the talks. In other words, I'm going to be interviewing the guests. There's going to be 3 panels on this year. They're all on the Saturday. So you're going to see my ugly mug for all 3. It's good. I mean, I'm looking forward to doing it. I was going to say they're very kindly. I don't think that's very kindly at all. But they've agreed to pay my hotel and give me some free tickets, which is fair enough. Because at the end of the day, it is a business, and they're getting people to work for free. So I'm quite happy to do that. I mean, I did do it a couple of years ago. I got nothing at all. So I thought, well, if they're happy to pay my hotel, then and give me some tickets, that's fine. So myself and my girlfriend actually said she wants to come down, which is absolutely fine. I'm quite surprised at that. But I think when I told her we had a free hotel in the Norbreck Castle. Yeah, Norbreck Castle. It's an absolute legend. There's some dodgy hotels in Blackpool, and trust me, Norbreck Hotel takes some beating. I've heard it's legendary for all the wrong reasons. I've heard some really, really disgusting stories about the Norbreck Castle. So anyway, yeah, we're getting it for free, so we'll see. So yeah, all the talks are on the Saturday, the 1st of October. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you too much about who we're trying to get, but we're obviously trying to get various guests, and then I'll have to come up with all the questions. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know quite a few of the guys that watch my channel. They're going to come down and support me. It'll be great to see the guys in the audience. It's funny. It's a thing that probably, I don't know, 3-4 years ago I would have never done in a million years, because the thought of being in front of an audience would absolutely terrify me. But you know what? I think through doing YouTube, I mean, the thing is, it's a bit different because I'm sitting here in my kitchen looking at my laptop. It's not quite the same as being in front of a live audience. But I think doing YouTube has definitely given me confidence, more confidence. I was always a fairly confident person. But when it came to kind of public speaking, I used to run a mile. It's the same with interviews and things. I used to actively avoid interviews just because I got so nervous talking to people. But now they don't faze me in the slightest. And I'm sure there'll be a few kind of nerves before I do these things. But you know what? The thing you need to understand is everybody that's there wants to be there. They want to hear you talking. They want to hear your guests giving answers to questions. So you've got the support of people. So I'm looking forward to that. It's the 1st of October. I'm going to be travelling down on the Saturday morning, which is the 1st of October, and I'll be staying overnight on the Saturday night, and then I'll probably leave, I don't know, 4 o'clock on the Sunday to come back up to Scotland. So yeah, I'm going down with my girlfriend and a couple of mates as well. So if you're going to be free that weekend, come along, get your tickets booked, come along, say hello. If you've never met me before and you go to one of these things and you happen to watch the panel, watch the live chat thing, please come up and introduce yourself at the end of it, because it's always nice to meet people. To me, these things are all about meeting people. It's less about the games, it's more about the people, the community. So if you are going to be going to play Blackpool, do come along, support me, and more importantly, come and say hello at the end of it. And yeah, you can buy me a beer for all the entertainment I give you guys for bugger all. But yeah, seriously guys, if you're going to be going there, come and say hello. Amiga, I shouldn't even call it that, the A500 Mini. Now, I was going to do an unboxing and blah, 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 and I thought, bollocks to that. I'm kind of late to the party anyway. I mean, these things have been out for a wee while. What prompted me to buy one? Because I think I was actually on record saying that I wouldn't buy one, or I maybe said I might buy one eventually. It was Del Boy, basically. Del he got one, well, it's wrong to say he got one for £10. He got one and he only had to pay £10 because he had, I think he had some Amazon vouchers or some Argos vouchers, so he only had to pay £10 to get this thing. And I've watched Lawn Boys Post 1975. I've watched all his videos. He's been doing a lot of A500 mini videos, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I've always said that, whilst I do like original hardware, I think I'm not stupid. I realise that original hardware is not going to be around forever. I don't have the intelligence to fix my old computer. So if my Amiga was to stop working, unless somebody could fix it for not very much money, chances are I'd end up probably selling it as broken, and then that would be that. So I'm under no illusion that all my hardware, it's not going to last forever. And I do think that these mini systems, it's a good way, it's a really convenient way of being able to still enjoy, Amiga games and things like that. So yeah, I've not had much of a chance to use it. Dell very, very kindly kept me right. There's if you do get the Amiga, I keep calling it the Amiga, they're not allowed to call it the Amiga. If you do get the A500 Mini, don't upgrade the firmware, because if you do, it stops you doing quite a lot of things, one of them being running RetroArch. Now, if you're buying it purely to play Amiga games, then that's probably not going to be an issue. But if, like me, you think, well, it would be nice to be able to play Commodore 64 games, it would be nice to be able to play 1942, then RetroArch is a really good solution. So if you do buy one, don't upgrade the firmware. I'm not going to put a link to the video because I can't be bothered, but there are multiple videos out there in YouTube land, and you download some software, you stick it on a USB stick, and it allows the Amiga to boot even into either the current firmware which you're on, or it also allows you to boot into the updated one, which I've just mentioned. But the great thing is you can flick back and forwards between the old firmware and the new one. And if you want to play RetroArch, that comes pre-installed, then you can do that. So yeah, it's good. It's a bit fiddly. I was messing about with it tonight before I went to my cook school, and yeah, there's a wee bit of practice getting it to work. But the games that I've tried, I mean, you can run all the WHD load games. You can download. You can play ADF games. So, and the games that I've tried, they play really, really well. So it's a nice alternative if you have no longer got an Amiga and you don't want just to play them on an emulator on your PC. You want to be able to sit in your living room and play stuff. Then yeah, you could do worse than picking it up. Like I said, I'm not going to do an unboxing. You know what it looks like. Before I forget, I was at the computer club on Tuesday of this week, and I thought, you know what, I'll take along my Vectrex because that's, it's a nice system. And there was a guy, Victor, I can't remember his second name, and he had his Vectrex. Consider my tiny mind blown. He has got a cartridge. What's it called? Is it Vecmania? Is it Vecmania? Apologies, I've got that wrong. It's a cartridge that allows you to play. You can play games, you can download them, but it's also got a chip in it, which I don't really know what it does. But what it allows you to do, and get this, it allows you to play the arcade ROMs of Vector games. I'm going to put a wee link right now so you can see. I'll be talking over this. There's what games can you play? You can play Asteroids. You can play Asteroids Deluxe. You can play Black Widow. This guy makes all his own Vectrex controllers. He's even got a twin stick for there's some kind of Robotron type games. You could play, Tempest. He's made a spinner for it. You can play Tempest. You can play Battlezone, again, using the twin sticks. Now, I've got the video up. You can see it running. Apologies for the piss poor video quality. The problem with the Vectrex is It's nice and sharp, but the minute you put a camera in front of that screen, I don't know what it is, it just goes haywire because of the really kind of bloody dog outside barking. It's 10 o'clock at night, for God's sake. Yeah, the bright vectors just play absolute havoc with the camera, but it'll kind of give you a flavour. But the sad thing is that cartridge, the Vecmania cartridge, whatever it's called, you can't get them for love nor money. There's one guy makes them, and apparently there's such a massive, massive demand for these things. He basically makes them just for friends. If you happen to know anywhere of me getting a hold of one, if you know anyone selling one, or if you know any contacts that could get me one, please, please, please let me know. I would absolutely kill to get one of these. I spent most of the night just playing Asteroids. Now, you need to understand, you're playing the arcade Asteroids on a Vectrex. It is phenomenal. So, yeah, that was the computer club. It was a good night. Like I said, I spent virtually all night just playing the Vectrex. I'm getting more up to date, folks. I was talking to a guy at work, and we were talking about, I don't know how we got into the subject, and I said, "Do you use like Google Pay to pay for stuff?" And he went, "Oh yeah, I use Samsung Pay." And he says, "You've got to do it." He says it's a piece of piss. He says, because the thing is, you never forget your phone, but sometimes you go out without your wallet. He says it's so easy to use. So I thought, you know what, let's get up with the kids, or let's get down with the kids, I should say, and get up to date. It's 2022 after all. So I downloaded Google Pay onto my phone, and I was at McDonald's earlier on, and yeah, as much as I love my technology and I've got my Alexas and everything else, there's something that kind of stopped me using my phone to pay for things. It just didn't feel right. I kind of thought it's not going to work properly. But yeah, from what I tried, it looks like it's the future. Steam Deck. I got an email from Steam a couple of days ago telling me that I'd got a £4 refund, and I'm thinking, what the hell's that? I've not bought anything. I thought maybe my daughter's bought a game and then she's refunded it. It turns out that my £4 deposit, which I put down for the Steam Deck, they've refunded it to me. I don't know, is that because I never went ahead and bought it? I don't know. I never got any updates to say you can go and buy it. So yeah, I'm no longer getting a Steam Deck. Now, who was that? There was one of the guys, Big Juffer, who is on Discord. I don't think he watches my videos, but he's on my Discord channel. He's got one, and he said it is really, really good. He says it's amazing. He says it's mega, mega impressive. But for one thing, the battery only lasts about 90 minutes. So you're going to have it plugged into the mains all the time. Now that to me kind of does away with the point of it being a handheld. A handheld is a portable machine, and if you can only get 90 minutes on it, yeah, I don't know what it is with companies now. They can come out with the most amazing technology, and yet they still can't come up with a battery that's going to last more than a couple of hours. They need to have a word with Nintendo. They're saying that the Nintendo Switch battery isn't the greatest, but I don't know what Nintendo did with the DS Lite, or the Nintendo DS, I should say, because that battery was phenomenal. You could literally, you could charge it up and it would last 6 months. Mental, absolutely mental. But yeah, the Steam Deck. I mean, I was thinking about buying one, but not interested now. They need to sort the battery out. Maybe think about picking one up if it comes out to version 2. But then, is it something I would play? I don't know. I like the idea of all these little portable handhelds, but the reality is I never actually play them. So, don't know. I put out a video, what day was it? Tuesday, Monday I think it was actually. And I called it the 10 worst Amiga driving games. And it's currently at 1.3 thousand views, which is about 1,000 views more than my videos normally get. And you know the reason why? It's because I didn't use a stupid name for my video. If you're a regular to the channel, you know I come up with the most ridiculous names for video features. Arcade Perfect, my arse. Who's going to find that? Who's going to Google that? The Friday Waffle, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And that's why the Friday Waffle is the one video that gets the lowest number of views, because people who don't know me or don't really know the channel are going to watch it for 2 seconds if they find it, and they're just going to hear me talking shite. Half the time I don't even talk about video games. They're just going to get bored and turn it off. And then you've got stupid things like the 8-bit face-off kerfuffle. Seriously. So then when you bring out a video, I didn't call it that intentionally. Well, I did call it that intentionally. I didn't do it to try and get bigger views. I did it because I want people to know these are possibly the 10 worst Amiga driving games. Trust me, I could make another 4 or 5 videos with bad Amiga driving games. But it's mental when you put out a video with that and it gets 1.3 thousand views. And that's why if you want to, if getting views is your thing on YouTube, then don't give your videos daft titles like I do. Yeah. Right, listen, that's all the stuff I'm going to talk about. I've got a few questions. Actually, I've got questions. Because I did a live video with Dell last week, we didn't answer any questions from the week before. So I'm going to answer 2 weeks ago questions. Is that right? Excuse me, I'm going to have a quick drink of this. And then next week, the ones that you gave me last week, I'll answer as well. Next week, actually, because this video is going to go on way too long. I'll see how we got on with these anyway. So, right, let's have a look. I'm just trying to see. There's plenty of comments. Well, Milfy Swinbuckle was saying here, this was obviously two waffles ago. It wouldn't surprise me that in 100 years from now, a mother is out walking along an everyday street, talking on her mobile phone with her child beside her, stops and thinks to herself, I ain't talked to the little one for a while. But she starts making a conversation with her kid. The phone software kicks in and it starts throwing a heaper, screaming at her to talk to it and to stop ignoring it. Yeah, I was going on about how I just get saddened with how much mobile phones dominate our lives. Right, wee Bob's got a question, I think. Yeah, there we go. When you were a kid or around that time, when you were out with your mates, did you ever have any memorable places you could visit? For me, there was a few, but one was an old house that had fell into disrepair and it was said to be haunted. So we used to dare each other to get as close as possible and scare each other by saying we could see someone in the window. We would all then freak out and ride or run away as fast as we could. Yeah, we had, I think every town has got one of these, Bob. We had one called Houdin House, which was I don't know the history of it. It was a kind of mansion house, not massive, but still big enough. I don't know, 20 rooms or something it had. It was huge, and then I don't know. It was, yeah. Even in fact, it used to get used for kind of community clubs and what have you. And the thing is, you couldn't get into it because it was always locked up. But the grounds that surrounded it, there was always these rumours that there was a green lady and a white lady. They always had these different colours. You never had purple or tangerine or turquoise or burgundy lady. It's always yellow, or it was always green and white for some weird reason. But yeah, we used to kind of walk about there, and you just used to, because you were talking about it, you actually ended up imagining it, and you would bloody get the heebie-jeebies. But then eventually that closed down, and it just became a derelict building, and it was really sad actually to see it. It was just gradually falling away. But fortunately, I'm saying fortunately, it's now been turned into flats. It's good and bad. It's good because it's nice to see it's nice to see it in its form. It's been restored to its kind of former glory. The sad thing is it's now flats, which means Joe Public can't get in to see it anymore, you know. But yeah, that was always good. And there was another thing, and it's not so much when we were younger because you had to kind of drive there, but there was a hospital that was built, I would say, just at the turn of the 20th century, probably like 18 something or another, whenever it was. And it was a psychiatric hospital. And then it got taken over when the second, I think it was the First and Second World War, when the First World War kicked in, it became a naval hospital. They actually built a railway station right next to it. So it had its own personal railway station, and wounded soldiers would come in from all over the country, probably come in into Edinburgh, Waverley, and then they would get taken to Bangor. And then after the war ended, I'm sure it was used in the First World War and in the Second World War. I might be talking bollocks. It might have only been used in the Second World War, but it was a psychiatric hospital up to that point. Then it became a naval hospital. Then after the Second World War finished, it became a psychiatric hospital again. Now, these were people who were actually quite dangerous. You know, I wouldn't say they were criminally insane or anything. It wasn't quite one flew over the cuckoo's nest sort of insane, but it was people who were dangerous. And that eventually shut. I think it closed its doors of 1987, something like that. And it just became completely run down. It was actually like although it was called a hospital, it was designed in a way to try and kind of have a calming effect on these people, because these people obviously had mental problems. They had issues to deal with. So they had all this greenery and really, really pretty, very, very kind of quiet. And it was to try and, I says, obviously help these people. And then when it shut down, it just completely fell into rack and ruin. And I'll try and put some photographs, if I can remember, up to let you see it. What was I going to say? Yeah, it just as time took over, the buildings became very dangerous, and eventually they got like security in, so you couldn't, because people were going inside the buildings and wrecking them and spray painting and stealing things that were left. And so eventually they brought in security who would they would chase you. You were still allowed to walk around the village, but you couldn't go into buildings. And the thing is, you wouldn't want to, because the ceilings are all caving in and, very, very dangerous. But yeah, for years, I used to take the two dogs up there. It's a beautiful place. I even went up running a few times. Really, really pretty place. And again, just like Houdin House, good and bad, it's now, they've now knocked down quite a few of the buildings. There's some of them, including a church, which are protected. But what they're going to do, so that's the good part. The bad part, or the sad part for me, is it's going to be getting turned into a luxury village. So you can imagine the pricey houses are probably going to be, I reckon, 400, 500,000, which is way more than most people, including myself, could afford. So it's going to be people with money that's going to get that. So it means that people like myself, we can no longer access it. But yeah, but that was a great question, Bob. Thank you very much, Squire. Colin Ferguson. Yeah, so he was just making a wee comment. You and the others keep doing your stuff. It keeps my spirits up. Keep up the good work. Cheers, Colin. I appreciate that, mate. And the legend, Mr. Panther UK. Cheers for the shout out, Main Meister. Smartphones are annoying when held by zombies. I use my phone for banking, social media, and loads of things. But if I'm walking, it's a phone and a music player. End off. Well done on the yellow belt. Even the first belt is an achievement. I know this from personal experience. I've even thought of a question. What do you find is the hardest part of producing content for YouTube? My biggest nemesis is time. Cheers, mate. Thanks, Panther. Yeah, I mean, before I got my own house, when I was still living with my wife and daughter, I seem to have more time for making videos. I don't know why, because technically it should work out the other way. I mean, I live on my own, but my daughter lives with me. But yeah, I think like Panther, time is a big thing. I mean, I do have, what have I got? I see my girlfriend, every weekend. So the weekends kind of out, although I do a video on Sunday, to be fair. What else do I do? I've got my cook school. I'm actually going to be starting. At the moment, I go to cook school on a Saturday and a Wednesday, but I was there tonight because I didn't go yesterday. But I'm going to start going 3 times a week. I think I need the practice. So I'm going to be going on a Saturday, a Monday, and a Wednesday. So yeah, just like Panther, time. And I don't know. I don't know where the time has gone, but I do. I mean, I do enjoy making content. There's no question of it. I do enjoy it. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, because my daughter is here all the time, she is just through the wall, and she can basically hear every single word that I say. Now, it's not a nervous thing, but I just don't really feel comfortable about being as open when I'm talking. I think I really need to kind of have privacy. Actually, when I think back to when I lived with like my ex and Ava, I find it quite. I actually struggle to remember how I managed to actually make videos. I used to go upstairs in my little games room and record stuff, but then when I did other like things in the PC, I think I used to do it at night time and they're in their bed. But yeah, I just find because Ava's through the wall, I'm a bit more kind of self-conscious. And so what I tend to do is when I'm making a video, I'll record the video, I'll record the gameplays, whatever it is I'm doing, and then I'll do this sort of the voice part later on. But so yeah, that's kind of one of them. But I think like Panther, it's just finding the time. We've all got busy lives, and YouTube has always got to, it's always got to play sec fiddle. It's always got to come second. But then there again, I do. I always put a video on a Friday, my Friday Waffle. Most of the time, I do a video on a Sunday, and then on occasions I'll do a live stream I'll do the Watch from Main Mice, which I did this week, which I completely forgot to mention. So I do videos, but I do find the live streams easier. I find them easier to do because it's just kind of you're just there in the moment. You're talking to people. You're not having to kind of think about what you're talking about, whatever. But I do miss the creative part of making videos. I have tried to. Hopefully, you've noticed that I have tried to, kind of get back to making videos again, making non-live videos, if that makes any sense. Because the live stuff is good, but you're not really using your brain. You're just playing games and talking, and which is good fun. But I still like making videos about old games. So yeah, good question. Thanks, Panther. Let's see here. Yeah, LFC Gamer and Vlogs, great waffle once again, and well said about smartphones. I too honestly feel as if they've ruined society in quite a lot of ways. Most people now are no longer interested in having a proper face-to-face conversation since they're too busy staring at their thumbs and backs because the phone has summoned them. Whatever conversation they do have is short, usually being the lazy, uninspiring responses of "yeah, I know" for almost every answer, which grinds my gears. I also think that people have severely limited their vocabulary as a result and are completely fixated on certain words, in particular literally and basically. Now, I know I'm guilty of saying these, and you're absolutely right, spewing them from my mouth every 2 seconds. I've got no issue with anyone using those words, but when you hear them that constantly, for example, at work, on TV, or out and about, it truly runs its course and ruins it 100 times 100. Absolutely, I agree 1,000,000% there. Steve's 8-bit gaming. Smartphones are turning people into selfish zombies. I've been saying that for a time, and it's one of the reasons why I don't want one. Absolutely fair play. to you, Steve. I've got a lot of respect that you've actually done that. Things I really want to buy are Vectrex, but the prices are far, far too high for me. Thank you so much for the shout out. It's so kind of you. No, absolutely a pleasure, Steve. It's great to see a lot of you guys putting out your own videos. Robert Morrison's got his own one. But Steve, I did do look at last week's waffle. There's a list. There's a list of about 15 channels which I do watch. So go and check them out. And Milthy Swinbuckle, right? I better. I'm going to have a little drink of my milkshake while I digest this. Excuse me. Hello again, Mainmeister. I've got another question that's similar to last week's. Sorry to tell you, but you're stuck back in a cave for another year with only Del Boy and Panther UK for company. The three of you still have all the food and drink you need to survive, and it's a warm, comfy cave to live in. The only issue is, again, boredom. This time, however, to keep the three of you entertained, you have been nominated to pick 4 Commodore 64 games and 4 Amiga games to play over the year. The catch is you can only play the games in in 2 or more player modes. In one player, the game will not work, or as soon as a player dies, the game will stop if playing, for example, a 2-player co-op game. So what 8 games over the 2 systems do you pick to keep the 3 of you entertained over the coming year? Now, I have to admit, Milthy, obviously this is 2 weeks old, this question. I did listen to Dell's response in it, so I'm going to try and pick different games. In no particular order. I don't know if Dell picked it, doesn't matter, I'm going to pick one anyway. On the Amiga, 100% World of Sensible Soccer, or just Sensible Soccer. It's the best sports game, bar none, and you'll never ever get bored of it. Secondly, I would go for track and field because that would keep our wrists particularly fit. That'll keep nice, strong wrists. And as you know, being a bloke, you need a good wrist. So yeah, track and field. Oh yeah, that's not bollocks. Right, you know what? Forget it. No, you know what? I'll go for Activision Decathlon on the C64. On the Amiga, if we can get 2 Amigas linked together, could we go for? Let me think. Could we go for Stunt Car Racer? If that's all right. Stunt Car Racer, Sensible Soccer on the C64. I think I would go for. Oh, what's it called? I can't even remember the damn name of the call. Something Rally. Can't remember the name of it. Rocket Ball on the C64. I would go for Summer Games 2 on the C64 as well. And I was going to say Wizzball, but Dale picked that one. I don't really think that's a particularly good game in 2-player modes. So I've picked Summer Games 2. I've picked. What else did I pick? Summer Games 2, Rocket Ball. Let me write this down. Rocket Ball. Summer Games. Sensei. Stunt Car Racer. Is there any... Yeah, I'm not going to go for International Karate because every cool kid knows that Way of the Exploding Fist shits all over International Karate. I'm going to go for Exploding Fist or Way of the Exploding Fist to give it its full title because you can't beat some 2-player shenanigans. On the Amiga, blimey, Sensei Stunt Car Racer. It's funny when you get asked these questions, your mind just goes completely blank. Sheesh. I would have to go for. I think I would go for Archer McLean's. What would I go for? Let me think. Would I go for Archer McLean's Pool or would I go for Arcade Pool? Nah, you know what? No, I think I'd go for Archer McLean's Pool or Archer McLean's. Not sorry, Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker on the Amiga. Yeah, snooker. And let me think. One more on the Amiga. God, there's tons of games that we used to play. I think we would. Oh, I'll tell you what game we'd go for. What's the name of it? Skid Marks. Skid Marks on the Amiga is an absolutely fantastic racing game. Yeah, Skid Marks is an awesome racing game. I mean, stuff like Lotus Turbo Challenge is a phenomenal game, but not for a two-player. I would go for Skid Marks. So on the Amiga, I would go for Sensible Soccer, Stunt Car Racer. I can't even bloody well read that. What the hell does that say? Chris, I can't even read I can't even read my own writing. Skid Marks, and what was the last one I said in the Amiga? I can't remember. Yeah, and on the C64, I would go for Rocket Ball, Summer Games 2, Way of Exploding Fist, and no, we don't. What the hell is that third one? Why that is absolutely shocking. I can't even read what that says. Is there any decent tennis game? Nah, I don't think there's a particular. There was a good tennis game that came out. I can't remember the name of it. It was one of the last games to kind of come out. It came out sort of 1995, 96. Can't remember what it was called. I need to pick one more on the Commodore 64. Two-player games that we play. Hey, Rally Speedway. That's it. Rally Speedway. Yeah, but I can't even read my bloody third one. But anyway, great question, Milfy. Thank you very much, Squire. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a pish answer. Right, and the very last one is Colin Jones. I'm going for a movie question again. What are your favourite comedy movies? I'm going for Life of Brian, closely followed by Airplane. 100% my favourite, not just my favourite comedy, one of my favourite films of all time. And it's a film I've seen on countless occasions. Don't know how many times I've watched it. And it's a film, if I'm ever feeling down, if I'm feeling depressed, or sometimes I think to myself, I'm just going to watch a film and I'll go into Netflix and I'll have a look at modern films and I'll end up thinking, nah, I'm going to watch this one. And it's Planes, Trains and Automobiles with John Candy and Steve Martin. It's such a good film. It never ever fails to make me laugh, and more importantly, it makes me smile. It just cheers me up. Big loss when John Candy died. I just thought he was great. Really big. He was like that uncle, your favourite uncle. Yeah, that's my favourite one. And the second one would be Animal House. Again, it's a film of its time. It's got a lot of James Belushi and I can't remember the other names, but it's an absolute classic. It's the kids of like generation after me, they watched, I can't even remember the name of it, but for my generation, Animal House, it was the first film that I went to see in the cinema, and you got to see a pair of women's tits, and as a 13, 14-year-old, that was a big thing, trust me. So it's memorable for that reason as well, but brilliant film. It's got iconic music. Yeah, totally sublime. Really good. Let me tell you what, to try and get up to date, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a quick look at the questions on last week's waffle, if indeed there were any. Let's see, the 22nd. Yeah, that's where we were. Hopefully there's not too many. There's only one comment. Right, there we go. Right, another Milfy Swinbuckle. Hello again, Main Meister. Are there any games that are universally loved but you just don't get? In other words, the majority of game players rave about such a game, but when you play it, you see nothing special and may even really dislike that game. As an example, for me, the game Donkey Kong Jr. falls into this category. I know it's reported to be an amazing game, and the original Donkey Kong is one of my favourites, and I've played it quite a bit, mainly as part of the high score kerfuffle, but the gameplay just didn't click with me at all. I'm totally with you, Milfy, on Donkey Kong Jr. I think it's probably just because I've not played it often enough, but there's nothing that makes me want to play it. I've tried to play it a few times. Maybe I should actually give it a go. I mean, I've got 3 arcade machines in front of me there. Yeah, Donkey Kong, obviously a game that everybody knows I detest, and I don't just say it for effect, but I really do dislike the game as Rainbow Islands. It's not just because it's got cute graphics. I'm not really a fan per se of games with cute graphics, but then I like things like Rodland. The thing that I don't like about the game, and I know it's become a bit of a thing that, like me, Panther, and I know Lacosa hates it as well. We all talk about it, saying it's a terrible game. The thing for me is it's the gameplay, it's the game mechanics. The idea of the game, from what I gather, is to get from the bottom to the top. Now, if you had normal bullets and you could jump, that would be fine. But you've got this, in my opinion, ridiculous mechanic where you fire a rainbow, and rather than going like that straight across the screen, it goes like that. Now, you can either kill the baddies if you make a rainbow and it hits them, they die. I think if you make a rainbow on the top of them, do they die? I'm not too sure. But then you can also jump on the rainbows, but then they break, they kind of fall, they break when you land in them. And it's one of these games you can just kind of keep jumping, jump all the way to the top. And it just annoys me. It actually confuses me when you're trying to kill a baddie and you're trying to walk left or right, and you're making these rainbows to kill them. And then when you're walking left, you end up kind of going up the rainbow, and it just annoys me. And like I said, I don't say it. I know it's become a bit of a thing in my channel how much I hate Rainbow Islands, but I genuinely do dislike the game. I don't enjoy it. Maybe if I was to actually play it and get some kind of skill at it, I might enjoy it. But I'm not interested in playing it. I've got no interest in playing it at all. I mean, I know I'm in the minority because I think Amiga Power, did they not vote Rainbow Islands as the best Amiga game of all time? So, there you go. Other games, all your kind of Zelda games. I mean, there's a thing that I've gone on about multiple times is I don't like games where you've got to craft things. I don't like games where you've got to collect minerals and wood and stones and bits of string, and you've got to craft weapons, and then they only last a wee while. I don't know. I like games where, like the original Zelda on the SNES. I mean, I know Zelda came out in the NES, but you would find like a sword, or you would find a bow and arrow, and that was it. You had that for the rest of the game, and that I don't mind that. But what I can't be arsed with is game mechanics where you've got to collect things and make things, and then it only lasts for a wee while. Not a fan of that. But I'm trying to think of other games that people have all gone on about. Call of Duty games, they just leave me. I don't mean this literally. They leave me dead. I play them for 5 minutes and I get bored. I actually find them boring. Give me a game of Space Invaders or Galaxy anytime. Yeah, so I think in general, modern games is something which I just find a bit dull. Because in fact, you know what? I'm going to stop talking there because I completely forgot about something. There was a thing that I was going to talk about, in tonight's waffle, but I'm looking at the time now. It's 49 minutes, so I'm going to leave that for next week. That will be something for me to talk about. So listen, guys, I'm going to get going. Yeah, I hope you all have a good weekend. I hope you have a nice Friday and a decent weekend. Try and join me. I should be along on Sunday night for, I don't know, I've not decided what I'm going to do, but I will be along. Hopefully all going well on Sunday night for another live stream. Thanks as always to everybody that continues to support me, whether it's watching my channel, whether it's commenting, whether it's giving me a thumbs up, and just supporting me. Like I says, guys, if you're free on the 1st and 2nd of October and you're near Blackpool, get your arse down there. I'm going to be there both days doing the talk, so it'll be fantastic to have you lot can help and support me, and it'd be nice to meet you as well. So yeah, it just remains for me to say, as always, guys, thank you very, very much for watching.
Ready, go. Right, this, guys, is a standard Vectrex, and it's running a thing called Vec Fever, which is that. And this really clever dude basically makes all these bespoke vector controllers. This is running Arcade Asteroids. Check this bad boy out. I'm just going to turn this side up a wee bit. Yeah, this is a Vectrex, folks. It's not an asteroid arcade cabinet. My mind is absolutely blown with this. This is just fucking phenomenal.
I've heard of the Vec Fever before, I don't know what it was though.
I'd heard of it,
Yeah.
and
Level 2?
yeah, get it right up your deal, boy. Private joke there, folks. This is just incredible. I mean, I'd heard about this, but I'm so surprised. I actually thought this would be running like, I don't know, like half speed or something. We'll have one more life at this, and then we'll show you something else. Right, what we're going to do... wait, pause that for a second. Ah, right, a minute. I've broken it.
Off you pop.
Thank you very much. Right, okay folks, this is Tempest. And we're not just using any controller, but using this little bespoke bad boy. How do we start?
More volume.
A bit more volume, yeah. What we can actually do, hang on, let's put this up here. That gives it a nice bit of kind of colour. That'll do. Who needs an arcade cabinet when you've got a Vectrex and a multi-cart? The only unfortunate thing is apparently the Vec Multis, whatever it's called, it's only one guy makes them and they're virtually impossible.
How much was that?
I don't know. I don't think he makes them anymore.
Priceless.
Aye, yeah.
It's a free one there. I'll start the car.
This is just absolutely insane though.
And that's a homemade controller, yeah?
Yeah, he makes tons of them.
Yeah.
And he made this BBC thing as well.
And the gas sound, not really well. Well, you've got the other buttons, a smart one.
Nice. Oof. See when these things get up onto the top and they start walking around, can you actually kill them?
You can get underneath them.
You've got to kind of time it.
When they go across the top,
you've got to kind of go like,
I'm not really good at that,
yeah, yeah.
The other good one in here to play with this twin stick is Black Widow.
Oh,
One on the spider web.
that's actually a really good game.
It's a really cool game.
That's phenomenal. Right, go on then, you need to stick a bit of Battlezone in then, if that's alright.
I can't play Battlezone because you've got no twin stick.
Oh, we've not got the twin stick. What was the other one? Star Wars. Yeah, let's have a go at that.
Wars on. I'm forced to with you.
Look at that. That is
Good thing you've got the analog as well, so you can control it a bit easier. Go for it. 4.
Look at the size of that thing. What you've seen is they've taken the speech out. The guy that's converted this, he's taken the speech out.
For technical reasons or for copyright?
No, I think just to kind of get it running fast, whatever. But this is. I'm not an expert at Star Wars arcade, but I mean for the games that I've seen, it's just bloody perfect. I mean, it's always been the holy grail for people to be able to play Star Wars, and I think this guy, other than actually buying a cab, I think this guy's just he's just made it possible. Well, apart from the fact that you can't buy the cartridge, but minor detail.
It's one of these games that's hard to get configured properly on MAME, isn't it?
Aye, absolutely. I'll let you have a shot. We'll take that off actually. The full effect, yeah.
It's much brighter. This is not the arcade version, was it?
It is. Yeah, it's on the arcade ROM.
The arcade version wasn't vertical, was it?
No, but you can change this. You can actually flip it around. There's an option you can flip it around if you want.
I didn't use the force, did I? Too late now. Sure, you can make a yoke.
I'm sure you probably could. Aye, I'm sure. Aye, I think he's got the. actually plays really well with that thing as well. It's quite responsive, isn't it?
The original sticks were analog as well, weren't they? But
Yeah,
this is like a different level, isn't it? Use the force this time. And die horribly doing so. There we go. Oof! It's the controls, it's the controls.
Oh yeah. I was supposed to make a yoke now, wasn't I? I'll tell you what. The Vectrex would
That is-
lap that up and made a yoke.
That is bloody awesome.
Yeah, it would. Oh, I've got to set the joystick at the moment. This is that I can never do. Oh no,
This is that kind of weird game, this, isn't it? Kind of goes into a sort of sideways scroll, that eh?
It's weird because you've got like a weird jumping thing. It hurts his head. Ow. Oh, there it is. I'm not very good at this. I'm rubbish at it. You've got to keep your hair up. Ooh, bump his head.
Smack.
Oof. Oh, but yeah, I know that. I'm just rubbish at it, that's all. What you've got to do is get to the bottom, I believe. And there's something you've got to... Oh, look at the skills of this guy. Oh, no, yeah, turned into Skellington again. Let's not play that, I'm rubbish at that. What's that? Is it XB3 or something like that? I can't know what it's called now.
One thing that is impossible is getting a decent picture of a video, of a Vectrex on video. It's just like shit.
It is. What else have we got on here? Star Trek was a arcade game.
You so you can actually run battles on it. You'll not run as such. It'll run. You can just watch
You can play it.
You can look at it. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you can play it with certain weird controls.
Yeah, if you don't mind
Let me
starting it up, just to have a wee-
into. Yeah, you can go into. How do you do it? Game mode, is that it? There you go. So you got Vectrex 2 joysticks, arcade. I think it's just Vectrex.
Yeah, one controller.
I believe. So I presume you can play it with a joystick. Yeah, you can just play it like that, I think. Come here, you. Oh, he's going to shoot at me? How about this one? Oh. Ha! Oh, you bugger.
You've heard the story. The guy said, "Why didn't you make the volcano erupt?" He went, "Oh, you can't do that." And then the other guy, when he went home, the other guy programmed it, and he
Yeah,
came back in the next morning. He goes, "Look."
Have you played Battlezone 2?
No,
Someone
didn't even
released
know.
their own version of it.